But Iran, hey man, the people is in touch. And Donald Trump, and y'all heard that lying man, Pompeo, out in, it's such lies. You can tell who's informing them. Munafiqin is telling them.
He was at their conference.
Yeah, of course. So was the little old man, the lawyer man from New York, Giuliani. All of them was there. They set up all kind of, but it didn't work. Let me continue. That is because we are trying to fix a meeting between a group of American and Western anti-Zionist personalities, such as scholars, independent thinkers, politicians, activists, artists, etc. And with the Iranian supreme leader of the Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei. After some days, me and Mr. Multazani, the advisor of international affairs of Iranian Vice Minister of Culture. You know, the Vice Minister is the one that does all the work. The minister is the head. You know, he comes in with he gets, when there's a big speech before the Majlis or something, he gives that. But the one under him is the two vice presidents of, they're the ones doing all the work. They know who's who. And when certain people walk in the room, yeah, hey, what's going on? You know. And they're the ones that advise other people right at the top. So we'll meet the assistant of the International Affairs Supreme Leader. The assistant, in other words, the one that's running the show of international affairs. It could be possible or not, but as government will change, in a few months, we want to try our maximum. If you would be in this delegation, we need a letter of you in which you ask to meet him. This letter has been written to him personally with your signature. In other words, the brothers that hooked it already. But that means that whatever it is that y'all are close, that means there are people in the government. Some hate you, and they're coming into power. The Democrats is going out, and the Republican Iranians are coming in. The bootlickers are coming in. We're trying to fix up stuff. Well, you can see what it says. One paragraph will be enough. Even this meeting will not be possible in this government, although through the contact, forget the English. Then we have with Office of Supreme Leader. It will be later, but what is sure, that is the future government is reformist. And it says will, may not, but may not continue, or will not, he should just say, will not continue the policies of Ahmadinejad. Who's the homeboy of Ahmadinejad? Let's figure that out too. I mean, like homeboy, like friends, when you're trying to explain something. And one meeting, he said, don't worry, our hearts are in contact. I said, I can wrap it up and go home now, because ain't no politician never been in tune with nothing to say, I got it, I know what you're trying to say. Our hearts beat on the same rhythm. That's what they told me, he said in Persian. Our hearts beat the same rhythm. One of the translators said that our hearts are in contact, but the other one said, he really said your hearts beat with the same rhythm. Was it? So now, be sure that this letter will never publish anywhere and stay in Alice Springs. We best regard. Anyway, now, this come on the internet. First of all, did the white folks get it? Well, they get everything else. They switched over all the stuff they wanted on whatever it is, email. They do whatever they want. But let's go over some of the things involved in this, so you will know personally. The new government is coming in. In the beginning, we were all on the same team. Starting in 1990. Remember I thought that I made that talk about diplomacy being a sewer in 2007 or 8 in Chicago. But when I went through my old lectures, I made that almost a few days after Imam, well, some months after Imam Khomeini passed. Why? Because I was watching the trends. And I spotted my homeboys that was drifting the day they start drifting. And I gave that talk up in New York. That's where the UN is. That's where at that time, Dr. Kamal Karazi was up there. He was bad as all get out. Of course, I said, y'all called me to speak about Imam Hussein. I say Imam Hussein was not a pragmatist. You know, who was considered a pragmatist in those days. That's their homeboy. Muawiyah Johnny was their homeboy. And always have been. And I stopped trusting them in 87. But I don't go around and say it, except to a few of the brothers, the Arab Shias and some of the Iranian Shias. We was personally close. In one private meeting, I might tell them, well, no, that's what's happening. But whatever's going on, everybody's aware that we're having a change in government. Okay, they are reformists. Now, I don't consider myself, I told them, I support Velayat Faqih, I support the elected leadership. That means if you have Velayat Faqih, who is a leader, and you have a president that I like, of course I support him. If we have a president that I don't like, I support him because you elected him. That's what I tell them. They don't believe like that. The higher you get up in politics, the more they say, I didn't bring the picture. One of our brothers, you ever saw the picture at Niagara Falls with, I told him I died kind. One of the brothers on there is a good friend of ours. And they was telling me in an office here, not maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Well, you know, they say his name, he's with Ahmadinejad. I said, well, so what? Well, if he's with him, that means he's kind of, they're trying to tell me that we're not putting up with any deviations. We're the foreign ministry, we're bootlickers. We are reformists. Thank God, Musa is in house arrest, Karubi's in house arrest, and that other clown, whatever his name is. Musa, Karubi, the other one. They're under house arrest. Because they khatami. You haven't heard a word from him, have you? You know, I told them in New York at the UN, I said, and the brothers wrote him a note, because when everybody spoke, he only referred to me by name. I said, what kind of dialogue are you going to have our goal was to always caution them against who you're having dialogue with, not having no dialogue. Diplomacy is dialogue. But don't be beating down the door. Please talk to us. We love you. We want to talk to you. We want to be friends. Right? And I told him the worst thing is to get up next to Sam. He's going to stick his foot in your behind. Karubi, double crossing. Karubi is the one that was involved in, what did they call that? October surprise? The hostages? Or the spies? Way back in Carter's time. Dear Ronald Reagan and them, they got a deal. It's Karubi them. Keep the people. When did they let the people go? Carter went to Algeria to meet the people, and he's just not the president anymore. Because it happened on his watch. They kept the people. Reagan them. And Reagan, I'm not doing nothing. Look at Iran-Contra. The budget, the black budget, well, it's called the white budget, that causes all the fitna, can't stand how much it costs to front the Contras, right? So they said, should we get a plane load of cocaine a month and send it to LA and send it to the US? And we be having, so the Contras, can you imagine? Everybody remembers Iran-Contra, they call it.
Yeah, Congress told them they couldn't fund the Contras anymore.
Yeah.
That was a law.
That's right.
So then here come Oliver North, a colonel, you know, a little light bird.
Yeah.
And he behind it all.
Yeah.
And so they get together and go over there with the cargo plane and load it up full of drugs.
Yeah. And we don't know how many times. We know that they had, the Contras had plenty of new shiny weapons and stuff. And a lot of the weapons would come from Israel. A lot of the weapons down in the south would be come to them. But anyway, I want to get back to us. I mentioned that our brother, Ibn Klum, that means the son of a clown, made accusations about us. It's unbelievable. Y'all heard some of them, right? I got all the brothers killed, but everybody can't wait to see me when they come home or come out of prison or writing letters, or we love you. Actually, they say we're proud of you because, see, when I was with them, I was revolutionary, but I was revolutionary to get money and all of that. I didn't deal a lot with ideology and stuff. But they say, hey man, you done went all the way, you done went beyond us. In other words, in ideology and in everything else. Now here's this man telling the people in Oakland, I got to deal with the government. Not that the government is knocking the fat off my head every time and putting me in jail. Every time I come in with the government, even if I just come in at the airport, I'm there 4 hours sometime. Just coming in. Why? Because they like me? Because I got a pass? You know what I mean? Being arrested in the masjid that you have a deed to. Can you imagine how unbelievable that is? But see, that relates to abdul-alim, that relates to the brotherhood in Oakland. That's why we're focused on them. Mukhtar is a regular clown, and Khadija is a clown. Now what is he gonna do? He's gonna take over the masjid. And now, his so-called takeover, if he's been there for 4 or 5 years, what has he done? First thing, any program was held at Masjid al-Islam, we held it there. He moved to 66th Avenue from across from our property, then moved to Berkeley, then moved to Livermore somewhere. Way out of town. You could shorten your prayers. He only come in for Juma or stuff like that. But he's saying all of this stuff that's impossible. Why isn't Oakland standing up and saying, wait a minute, we was there 20 years. We never saw nothing but good. Nobody in Oakland never came by. It was a miracle. And he's supposed to be, that nobody ever said he did anything bad to them. And these are people from Philadelphia area for 20 years are there in Oakland, right on the street where you would hang out for years. Okay. We'll go into that later. What I want to go into now is some of the impossibilities. What some of this stuff means, what these pictures mean. I want to give you an example. And it's because we're trying to fix a meeting between a group of American and Western anti-Zionist personalities, scholars and thinkers, and all that, politicians. Y'all might have saw the World as a conference that they had over there. See all the conferences, the bootlickers, and the politicians